Hey there, welcome to Tarot to a T. Whoops. Let's try that again. Today we're going to do a December 2022 reading for the sign of Aquarius. And if this is your first time to my channel, welcome. Glad to see you here. Hope you stick around. And if you are coming back, thank you very much for coming back. I appreciate your support. And let's go ahead and open it up with a general inquiry. What does Aquarius need to know for December 2022? What kind of message does Aquarius need to hear today through this reading? What's going on with Aquarius? Okay, there's something. There we go. It is starting. The show must go on. What's going on with Aquarius? What's going on with Aquarius? I don't recall right offhand what was going on in your last reading. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I have a very vivid recall. But with so many signs, sometimes it just doesn't happen that way. So if you would like to review the last reading, if this resonates with that one, well, we'll see. I do have an Aquarius playlist you can check out. Okay, let's jump into it. Two of Clubs. Might be dealing with some kind of partnership here, where there needs to be some communication, some clarification in some area to restore the balance and harmony. Four of Spades. So things are very secure and looking stable in the home life. You are entering a period here, it looks like, Aquarius, of stress relief. So in the past there was perhaps something stressful going on in the home, or it could have been dealing with outside the home, such as work, or something going on with the relationship if you're involved in one. Looks like there still needs to be some communication, though, if that's the case. Six of Diamonds. You might be embarking on some new financial opportunities here. This is about options and opportunities opening up for you and allowing you to take some kind of financial responsibility, whether it is just leveling up with some credit card debt, perhaps paying back some people that you borrowed money from. They lent money to you. Or making some repairs or replacing things that are just kind of worn out. Eight of Clubs. So you might be fixed on some kind of idea. This is the card of kind of being stuck on an idea, stubborn. I'm just feeling it out for a second. It's also about the crossroad decision, like maybe this idea has you stuck because you need to make a decision in some area. It's an interesting combination. I feel like there's some relationship stuff going on here, and we'll pull some more cards out to clarify that. But with communication, you're usually dealing with some kind of relationship, whether it's, like I said, in the home, or it could be business, something to do in the work that you're doing. Or family. Could be having to do with some kind of family issue. Ten of Hearts. Interesting. So this card is actually very, very, very fantastically positive. This is a major completion in some area of your life that has brought about celebration and happiness. It's about things going really well in relationships. So I take that back about maybe this was a relationship issue we're looking at. It seems like with this, things are really going really well in that area, and you might be in this period of, the Ten of Hearts reminds me of like when you're having a particularly good holiday season, for example, and everybody's getting along, and so when you get together for Thanksgiving, which just happened, and you have Christmas or Hanukkah around the corner, or another holiday, don't mean to exclude anybody, but that's like the card to me that everything's going really, really well, and there's no friction and there's no issues with family. Um, but obviously, some kind of communication needs to come up, and it may have to do with this decision you're trying to make. 8 of Diamonds. So things look really well in the, how should I put it, prospective financial opportunity, because we had the 6 of Diamonds here. This is the card of entrepreneurship. You might be looking at starting a business or perhaps going into something completely different than you've been in before. It's a little bit more than just getting a new job. Okay, it could be pursuing a new career, but it's about being independent in some sense. Like you came to this on your own and you've put a lot of hard work and energy into it, and it's actually the card of things paying off. So I don't know if there's a project or something that you've put a lot of work into and it's taken time to complete. That also could indicate rewards coming around from that, and it's on top of that 10 of Hearts. So I think you've actually had some very good things happen with you and to you lately. 3 of Clubs. So there could be an outside influence here. I think this is tied to this 2 of Clubs. I'll first talk about that. The 3 of Clubs talks about a third party, or like I said, an outside influence. There's some kind of struggle going on. That's why the communication is tied up with that, for sure. Like I said earlier, the 4 of Spades with the 4 of Spades, you're looking at things being settled for the time being, and so you're experiencing stress relief, right? But this 2 of Clubs and this 3 of Clubs could still be that ongoing issue. Something that's like hanging over you, that's kind of putting a dark cloud over things, and it really shouldn't be. Because you got very good stuff going on financially, and your relationships look really good. So I'm very curious to see what this is. There's something very unsettled here with the Joker energy. This is about things being kind of tossed up in the air. Literally and metaphorically, things are up in the air. This is also the Fool card. The Fool energy can be not expecting something to come your way, kind of being in the dark. I don't want to use the word blindsided because that has a negative kind of feel to it. It's just that you may be in the dark about something that's transpiring or coming together. Like it hasn't happened yet, but it's like coming together, and this thing is going to happen. Or you're going to just, it's possible you could be discovering something that kind of changes everything, the mood, how you're feeling about life in general. I'm just kind of throwing it out there. I'm not really sure. The Fool card can also be the card of new beginnings. It's not quite like an ace, where I feel like the aces really denote, yeah, you're at the beginning of some kind of journey. The Fool card could also be like you're open, to some kind of new endeavor or project or journey or path. And again, it hasn't come to fruition. The Jack of Hearts. Now, you could have a younger water sign around you. This would be a Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer. You could have this in your chart. I a lot of times see the Jack of Hearts, though, as the sign I'm reading for, feeling vulnerable because their heart is open. That would actually make a lot of sense with that 10 of Hearts, because I think you're in a really good place with relationships. There is some kind of hidden struggle and fight here with the clubs, like I mentioned earlier, and a need for communication. So I'm not sure what that's about. It's almost like it's a side issue, but like maybe your family and everything is is solid. The connection there is really solid, right? The relationships in the family are going really well. There's this, like, maybe this friend, or perhaps a work colleague, where some kind of communication needs to happen to clear something up. Like some kind of tension under the surface I'm hearing. There's tension under the surface somewhere. But I don't think it's like a marriage. I don't think it's like a relationship. It's some other kind of relationship. The Two of Hearts, nice that comes out on that Jack of Hearts. This is about the desire for companionship and closeness and things being in harmony and balance in a close relationship. This really does talk about two people. This doesn't really talk about groups. Whereas the Ten of Hearts kind of talks about the big picture, the family, the extended family, the children, the friends, you know, whatever form it takes for you. Ten of Hearts is very, very positive with relationships just going super well and everybody really enjoying, celebrating. I still think Ten of Hearts has to do with the holiday season since we're right upon it, and we're right in the middle of it, honestly. The Two of Hearts, though, came out right after this Jack of Hearts. So if you're not in a relationship, you perhaps have your heart open to finding somebody. I don't think it was you the last month. I did a reading from one sign where it was very obvious they were on the, I don't want to say on the prowl, but they were on the lookout for meeting somebody they were going to get serious about. You know, there was a very definite intention. You could kind of be in that same space, maybe not quite as intense, but you have your heart open, you are comfortable with a certain level of vulnerability, and you're desiring closeness. Anything else you can tell me about Aquarius? And if you are in a relationship with that Two of Hearts, I just want to say this, it might be that you're desiring, you're feeling very open to your partner right now, and you're desiring to deepen your connection to them in some way. You know, feeling more close to them in some way. Okay, let's see what else we can pull out. What else can you tell me about Aquarius and their colorful life right now? The Five of Hearts. Didn't expect that, because the relationships look really good. Now this is a card of separation and some kind of change, but actually it kind of makes sense with that Two of Hearts and that Jack of Hearts. The separation doesn't have to be because you're splitting up with somebody. This could be actually somebody going off. For some reason they have to be away from home for a while. Maybe they're working at a distance, their job requires travel, or they're off visiting family and there's some kind of separation. Maybe they're off, maybe they're off visiting family and they have to help take care of them. Maybe there's a family member that's ill, you know, and maybe they, I don't know, had some kind of surgery or operation and they need help, you know, post-surgically, or they broke a leg or a hip or something and they need help and so they're gone. That Five of Hearts is about some kind of change going on and it affecting you emotionally because, again, it's about the hearts. But with the Two of Hearts that came out right before it, yeah, you're desiring that closeness. I think that's for a certain audience here. Certain Aquarians might have that going on where they're desiring their family member back, their partner, and for some reason that partner is away from them at the moment. Let's look at your cards of advice. King of Diamonds, Five of Clubs, coming out together. The King of Diamonds could be an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. I see the King of Diamonds as a very firm and controlling energy in the sense that they really take the reins, literally. Not like just reigning over a, you know, the king reigning over its lands, not that kind of reigns, but like taking control, having some kind of dominance, some kind of authority over a situation. Now, interestingly, the Five of Clubs talks about the need for change. What I'm hearing is that possibly took control over a situation that needed to change. Perhaps this is where this friction comes in, where there needs to be more communication that's not being revealed to me here. But the King of Diamonds usually has to do with something material, finances. It could also be somebody who's very good in business. Ten of Diamonds, wow, look at that. Another completion, and this one's about prosperity. So you got the Ten of Hearts earlier, and now you have the Ten of Diamonds. Perhaps this is where you're headed, with you taking control, needing to change something. Maybe you're changing the way you're spending. You've like, in the past, maybe you've spent, or haven't had a budget. Let's put it that way. You haven't had a budget. And now you're being more responsible in that way. Because we did see the Six of Diamonds here, about taking financial responsibility and having more opportunities like that come up. This is the abundance card. Like I said, this is like success, and it's like wrapped up some kind of cycle. Maybe you learned your lesson about not sticking to a budget. That's a very possible scenario with that. The Queen of Clubs, she comes out in advice a lot. I'm not always sure what angle she represents, but I always throw it out there that this could represent a fire sign, a Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. The Queen is similar to the King in that she has some authority and power. We're not looking at genders, so not necessarily female, but the way her authority is exerted is more subtle. It's not as domineering. If there's somebody like that fits that description, they could be older than you, wiser. They offer a lot of guidance. You can count on them. They're very supportive and generous. It's interesting. She comes out in the advice a lot for a lot of signs. I might need to meditate on that card and just kind of, pick around and see what she could represent universally, because I think individually she can mean different things, but I don't know, I have a hard time coming up with a universal intuitive feel about her. But I've given you all the information I know. It's just that, you could be invited, encouraged to embody that kind of energy, especially if you have fire in your chart. Aquarius, and I will mention that Leo is your opposite on the zodiac wheel, and that's a fire sign card. Seven of Hearts, ouch, broken heart, being let down, some kind of loss. Somebody didn't come through for you. Somebody, dare I say, was a flake. Disappointed you. In the beginning it was all hunky-dory and very good and positive, and then it kind of quickly faded. Not sure exactly in advice how to interpret that, honestly. It could be that you need to protect your heart more, because we did see this Jack of Hearts earlier, right? And you need to guard against this, being let down by people. Like I said, this could represent somebody. Only you would know how that fits. This is a very general reading. I have that written in my description, but I don't always say it. Just a reminder, it's a general reading. So the Seven of Hearts is usually it's an internal emotional experience for sure. And again, it's about being let down. It's funny because here, like I said, I feel like you're taking control and you're making changes. And it just seems like there's some kind of message here about the changes you've made are going to disappoint you. And that's very curious. That's very curious because you have this very positive card here. I mean, I don't know, maybe it's a bittersweet victory. For some reason I'm hearing that. Like on the one hand, the changes you've made are going to help. On the other hand, there's going to be a price to pay. Huh. Don't know. That one's actually kind of got me stumped, but I'm going to ask for more cards of advice for you, Aquarius. Good grief. That was strange. The way those cards were like spread out in the deck in my fingers, but there was too many, so I had to put them back. So you could be dealing with some kind of emotional matter that's pulling you in a couple different directions. This is the card of indecisiveness. Again, it affects you emotionally. Not sure what that's pertaining to, but I will keep drawing cards. Now, I do notice that we have the Seven of Hearts and the Three of Hearts here. This is about, again, letdown and disappointment. And the Three of Hearts is about being indecisive. So, let's see what else we can clarify there. Two of Diamonds. Very interesting. So this is about harmony and balance in a relationship, a close relationship. And there's a highlight for some reason on finances being very, very good. Yeah, you know, there's definitely something here being hidden from me. I'm not getting a clear direction about indecisiveness involving like a spouse or a partner. Because this looks like, you know, it could be that there's some kind of emotional thing going on between you and a partner where this communication needs to happen. I haven't forgot about the Two of Clubs, right? We can't forget about that. And the little bit of struggle you're having here with the Three of Clubs. But financially, you guys are sitting pretty. There's just like some major emotional issue that's like under the surface. And the Seven of Hearts could be highlighting that everything is really good in other areas, especially with that Ten of Diamonds staring us in the face. But you got this letdown. Whoops, sorry. Nine of Hearts. Interesting. This is a completion of some sort that led to wish fulfillment. I do think the wish fulfillment was about finances. You've accomplished some kind of success. That's very obvious to me. I mean, we had the Eight of Diamonds out there earlier, the entrepreneur card. So even if you didn't run your own business, you've reached some kind of plateau in success, especially with the Ten of Diamonds. That tells me that you've reached, you know, I had a very similar reading to this. I don't think it was you. But it was last month, where somebody had everything materially. Their finances were looking glorious. Everything was looking fantastic except the relationship parts of it. But it was more about them not having somebody in their life. I don't think that's the case here. I think Aquarius, I'm talking to an Aquarian who has somebody in their life, and there's something emotional missing. There's some kind of friction. I keep hearing friction. And we did get the Ace of Hearts. So you are... Nine of Hearts is about wish fulfillment, and Ace of Hearts is about following your heart. So it's kind of the other side of the coin, isn't it? It's also a new start. I think you're starting to recognize that you need more from a significant relationship. And I think it's somebody very close to you. Definitely marriage or spouse could fit that, but if it's, you know, if it's another form that it takes, there's something missing. There's a friction. You're not satisfied with it anymore. While all this other fantastic stuff is going on, yeah, you're like missing out on something emotional. Because we also have this that just came out, talks about the stability in the home life. You're very stable in your home life and with your checkbook. No doubt about it. You need that emotional element. That's what's missing from your life. There's something amiss in your emotional life here. And I'm not seeing it, but this just popped out for me. Here we're off on finances again. But the Seven of Diamonds does talk about the excess and prosperity. There's a little bit of a warning with this to avoid excessive spending. So we're going off the emotional theme that I really think is very important in this reading. But don't ignore this. Don't take on unnecessary risks. Don't gamble. Don't gamble. I mean, don't make, I guess, crazy gambles. I don't think it's gonna reveal to me exactly what's going on with this emotional aspect. I am gonna end it there, but I do think there's some kind of, it goes back to this. There's some kind of need for some communication. There's some ongoing struggle that you're experiencing, and you still have this, I think it's just about you acknowledging that you're really brokenhearted. Because you get all these other things going on, but maybe you've been ignoring this. That's what it is. This is the thing that needs to be looked at. Yep. Aquarius, that's what it is. You need to look at your emotional side here and what is missing from the relationship that you have going on with somebody. You're keeping it hidden from me. But yeah, there's something definitely you're desiring to start over, and maybe that means you're going to start from somewhere. You're going to start listening to your heart and what you really desire here, and where it leads you is where it leads you. I mean, if it ends up that the relationship can't fulfill the requirements, and I don't mean to make it sound like a job application, but like, we all have needs, and if somebody can't meet you halfway, it's not about fulfilling all of your needs, but meeting you halfway, compromise, right? But this, I think, is what's highlighted here. This is what's become an issue. You need to pay attention to this, and you need to take the steps to deal with this. That's it. Okay. Wow. You have a lot going on. I hope you liked the reading. I hope it helped you maybe make some realizations. If you would like to see when the next video comes out, go ahead and hit subscribe notifications. You will get a notification on your phone when that comes out, or save a video. Save this video so you can find my channel again and check in with me, okay? Hang in there until I see you again. Take care.